This episode of Jocks and Jills is brought to you by SharkNinja, Shark Beauty, Shark Home, and Ninja Kitchen. And today we want to tell you about the Ninja Crispy portable cooking system that packs the power of a full-sized air fryer into a portable design. It includes a 6-cup and 4-quart Tupperware container, so whether you're whipping up single-serve meals in 7 minutes, sharing crispy snacks on the go, or serving a crowd, the Ninja Crispy makes it easy. The Tupperware glassware is thermal shock resistant to go from frozen to crispy in seconds. SharkNinja is a proud founding partner of the PWHL, our presenting sponsor here at Jocks and Jills. All right, welcome in everybody. Jocks and Jills, episode 23. Tess and Julia with you. We are in full swing of January. The days are short right now. Tessa, how are you?
I am still hungover from the holidays.
I don't feel like it's an alcohol hangover that I have. I'm just perpetually tired. I know,
Yes.
Me too, dude. I haven't been usually pretty good about hopping out of bed right when my alarm goes off. I'm hitting snooze hard these days.
Oh, man, my kids didn't. We had to be out the door in 35 minutes. I was woken up by my children. We need to get out of bed. I was like, oh my gosh, what time is it? We need to hurry. Everyone get your clothes on and get downstairs. We are cooking here today. I don't know what it is. It could be the lack of daylight. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe I need to be better at going to bed earlier.
It's so hard. I just feel like I catch my stride at 10 o'clock these days. I don't even know what it is. I'm staying up too late. I can't go to sleep.
It's brutal. And then Ed and I are in this point where it's in spring, usually you get spring cleaning, you want to go through it all. For us, it's Christmas and New Year's where all of the new kids' toys come in and we're We've also moved back into our house and have been here for a few years and we're okay, stuff isn't where it's supposed to be. And there's a lot of crap in bins. So let's get on it.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough that we've got 2 nieces that love our children and they're also very good at baking. And Annie randomly woke up and was just can we get cousin Jessie and Andy over here? Let's bake some cookies. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And then we can get stuff done. So Ed and I hammered through 2 rooms. We got 2 rooms organized. So we're making it an annual on the Sunday after hockey. Cuzzies are coming over. We're getting free treats. I think we smashed probably 4 cookies last night that were unwarranted and not deserved, but they were amazing. Our kids make good cookies.
They were deserved. You organized.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the reward, I guess. After we organize, we get a treat. So I put in some requests. I was I would love some fudgy brownies. And my niece is she took this baking camp one summer, and everyone put your kids in baking camp because they become these world-class bakers and they are really good. She's like, oh, I've got a wicked recipe. I'm like, damn right you do. Let's get those cooking.
Nice.
Auntie Tess needs some brownies.
Absolutely.
But it was the best. Sunday, honestly, I had a day, Julia, that brought tears to my eyes and I might get emotional talking about it again. I know I'd mentioned it to you earlier, but my daughter, Annie, she just turned 4 and we have her in this program called Kinder Hockey. It's at the Burlington Pond in Toronto in Canada. And it just does skills and then it puts the little kids out just to teach them what hockey's about and how to play and all this stuff. It gives them the confidence and the skills. And every time I'd put Annie in it before, she was always the only girl. This time around, there were 2 other young ladies in the group. Okay. And they were dolls. Love them. They came off onto the bench at the starting of the game. And myself, this grandfather and this other dad were just helping with the bench, opening the doors, getting the kids their waters. And so I was chatting with them and the little girl one of them was very excited to tell me that her and this other little girl, her bestie, had been playing hockey for 2 years. And I was hamming it up, no way, you guys are this good already. This is crazy. And then I was hold the phone. And Annie's standing right next to them. And I was just are you ladies Scepters fans? And they were yes. And then Annie came over and they all had this little group hug. Okay. This moment. And they totally took Annie under her wing. And then when they came off the next shift, I was just hey, everyone needs to tell me who your favorite players are. And right away, Annie, obviously being Annie, she was Sarah knows.
Of course.
And then the one girl turned, she's no way, she's my second favorite. And so they went off talking about anyways, about Sarah and all their favorite girl hockey players. And I was emotional because I never had that as a kid. 1, female role models to talk to other female hockey players about.
Yeah.
And 2, a favorite female hockey team. They're telling me that one of them was I watch them on TV all the time. The other one was yo, I even went to a game. And I was no way. That is crazy. So this league is totally filling my heart to have that moment for my daughter and these girls to like connect and like have that hug and to go out there and play with each other was just the best. So I'm getting emotional talking about it right now, but thank you to everybody who makes this league happen and to all these amazing ladies that play, because like I saw it firsthand. I'm getting so emotional right now. I saw it firsthand, how amazing it is, and have them talk about, you know, the players that we try to highlight and showcase. And I don't know, it's just a moment for me that, you know, I'm glad my daughter has. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's so different. Like, it's crazy how much it's changed in the last 5 years, in the last
I
10
know, and this is
years.
only year 3, Julia.
I know, like even 5 years ago, like you ask a lot of people who their favorite female hockey players are, you're getting Hillary Knight, you're getting MPP
Pooh.
maybe, and you're
Yeah.
getting Wickenheiser. And like those
Yeah.
are the 3 names that you'll hear over and over again. And now there's like 3 teams worth of names that are
Totally.
household names around North America and
Yeah.
like bleeding over into Europe with the SCHL. So it's pretty crazy how fast this is happening and how fast it's going to continue to happen with the growth of the league. It's awesome.
Totally.
And you get
And
to
the
see it with
craziest part
grassroots.
is it's not even stuck to North America. Because I asked, I was like, what about
Yep.
Taylor Heisey? You guys know Taylor Heisey? One girl was like, yeah. And she plays on Team USA. And I was like, man, these kids are up on it. And they knew that the Olympic roster had been announced. Like they were on it. And I was just like, bravo, parents. Bravo.
Yeah. Okay, that's special stuff. And you lead us into it perfectly. So lots of great stuff happening at the grassroots level. And now let's get to the headlines in women's hockey this week. Okay, Tessa, Friday, the announcement went out after we dropped our Friday episode of the pod. You dropped your initial reactions on Instagram, but Canada announces its 23-player roster for the Olympics. I think there was some surprise at this roster. Like, I think there was actually some widespread surprise, mostly when you just look at the numbers, right? 0 NCAA players,
Yep. 1
player under 23 years old. She's not even a player. She's a goalie. So I find it funny to even say player under 23 years old. It feels like sticking to their guns and sticking to what they know and the players that they trust that have won in this position before.
And is that not totally true to Troy and Gina?
Yeah, it is.
So while some may have been surprised, I feel like majority, I think there was hope. But what I feel like the surprise came from was Chloe Primerano is, you know, a stud player. Everyone expected her to get a little bit of a sniff.
Phenom.
Right? Would you call it a snub? I would a little bit, just based on the fact of, you know, obviously Gina and Troy, their focus is this Olympics. This is it. But there has to be a small portion of looking ahead. And I think losing this opportunity to grant someone, whether you think she may have been able to contribute or not, it's still a 23-player roster, to give them that experience, just to see how everything goes, to feel what it feels like to go to an Olympics. But I guess, you know, they're comfortable with that and developing that experience over the next block, the next Olympic block after this one, the next 4 years. The other thing is like what Canadian players were actually like NCAA that were coming down the pipeline. Like Abe Gascon had a chance at the roster. You know, she's probably going to be, I don't know what the plans are for Anne Renee Debiang or Emran Smashmeyer, but she's, and Kaylee Osborne, but like she's really going to be pushing to insert herself in that. There was Chloe Primerano, there was Caitlin Kramer as well that were really making pushes. But clearly, you know, they know better than you and I. They've been there in that locker room on the ice with all of them and just didn't feel that they were ready because, and I said this before, the Olympics really do hit different and it's a way different experience than any Worlds can offer you. But that's where my surprise comes in. It's like, it's okay to just take them and have them just be in and around all of that and to absorb it. But clearly, you know, Canada feels like with the roster that the US has put out, with the roster that Czechia has released, that these players that they have put in are the ones that are capable of getting the job done. And I talked about it with CBC, that, you know, there were, I think, 6 players on the 2014 roster that knew how to, or maybe it was 5, that knew how to come back and win an Olympics when you were down and out. So the stick-to-itiveness, the sticking with the game plan, the trusting and believing, that stuff matters. They've got a handful of players that lost it in 2018, so they know what it takes to lose a game.
Yeah.
And then players on the 2022 roster that know how to like come back with a little bit of a vengeance and what it takes to win it. Albeit, I feel like this Olympics is going to be highly competitive in a sense that I don't even want to assume or say that I think it's going to be Canada USA in the final, because the PWHL has really done a great job in elevating the play from all of these countries all over the world. And a large part of it has to do, and I've said this before, I'll reiterate it again. Sorry, people, this is a broken record, but this is true and it needs to be digested, that now Hilary Knight, Poulet, all of these star players, Taylor Heisey, Kendall Coyne, they're not held on this pedestal anymore. They are now teammates and equals to all of these players from around the world. So before they were seen as untouchable, it was really a mystery on how they trained, what they were doing different, blah, blah, blah. Not anymore. Not anymore. But yeah, you know what? I don't have a problem with any part of this roster at all. I think it is a solid one. I think, the rivalry series with Canada wasn't their best showing. I think it was a big vote of confidence for the US to know how they have to play if they want to be successful against this Canadian team. And for the Canadians, I think, hey, deposit that into the experience bank and pull from it when you need. But outside of that, throw it away, because the Olympics are a very short-term tournament, and the Americans know that too. And this is going to be the most fun Olympics to watch, and I'm so pumped that we get to go.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm so excited we get to be there. I totally agree with the sentiment. Like you said it on Instagram, you said it on CBC. I think this is going to be the most entertaining Olympics for women's hockey of all time. It just feels like there's so much on the line for both of these teams. Like, we know, she's told us this is Hilary's last kick at the can at the Olympics. We don't know what this looks like for Canada's veteran core. You assume that this is going to be the last crack at it for a lot of them.
Yep. And like, we don't even, Pooh's 34. Like, is Pooh going to be competing at an Olympics when she's 38? She hasn't announced anything. I can't talk for her. I don't know. But like, what's her plans?
I don't know.
We don't know anything. So, and just know, Pooh does carry the weight of this nation on her shoulders. She is crazy competitive and she wants nothing more than a win. Cassie Campbell is the only captain in Canadian history to have won 2 Olympic gold medals.
Right.
Do you think Pooh wants a crack at that? Yeah. So don't think she's like, Pooh's got in her DNA the win gene, the clutch gene. Like, don't think that's going to be highly activated, and don't think that the US don't know it. Kendall is very well read in this category. So this is going to be wild. I love it. I love every part of it.
Yeah, I love how the approaches are so different. USA has gone totally with this young, scrappy team that's just doing absolutely absurd things. Hi, Abbey Murphy. We'll talk about you a little bit later in the show because you are just on a different planet. Just like a lot of these kids on Team USA, it's just insane to watch. Whereas Canada, and you could see it even in the videos where Gina and Troy and the staff were calling the players to let them know that they'd made it. Like, I was emotional seeing Natalie Spooner find out that she had made that team. Like, Gina kind of outlined everything that she'd been through in the last couple of years, from that horrible injury she had in her MVP season to coming back after having her son Rory. And like, she's just been through a lot. And I forget if it was Troy or Gina that said it. They said, we can't picture ourselves doing this without you.
I think too,
as part of this room.
The important part of that pick is, they know Spooner's not going to take any moment for granted. And don't think Spooner knows that this might be her last kick at the cat as well. So now that Spooner has that information.
Kick at the cat?
Sorry, no cats. No cat. No cat harm.
No I can let a lot of things slide on this show. We only kick cans, not cats. Okay.
Just kick the can. Sorry, Julia, and to all of your cats and all of the cats out there. I like cats.
No, Winnie loves you. She's going to be upset.
I know. Sorry. I don't mean that. She won't. She's not kicking any cat. Spooner does not kick cats. Put that on the record. Nor do I. But don't think now that Spooner has that weight off of her shoulder and she knows that info, I don't think she's carrying any weight or baggage around with her out there. So activate Spooner. Let's see what happens with her.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I saw that Carolyn Ouellette, right after she found out she made the team, Ouellette was the first one that spoke up on the Zoom call and was like, now we want to see you play free. And play like yourself in the PWHL. I think Troy mentioned after at the announcement at CBC that this is going to be a big weight off Spooner's shoulders. Yeah. So happy for her with that. And
Same.
it seems like, to your point, like Canada really believes the players that have been in this moment before, the players that have experienced the pressure before, been in those gold medal games, are the players that are going to be able to pull it out in this moment. They've clearly stuck with that roster.
And I just want to point this out. The American roster has a ton of players that are very lighthearted and hyper competitive that keep the room very just like zen. So like you got the Harveys, you got the Murphys, who is highly competitive, is going to, have a spark, but is totally chill in the locker room. You got a player like Kendall Coyne, who's super serious, like Captain Serious, and is going to make sure the ship is heading in the right direction. Like the U.S. has a really solid mix and a really good locker room for things like this. And I think Spooner helps the balance on the other side with Canada in a sense that, all of these players are hyper serious and hyper focused and understand the severity of this. But Spooner's going to be the player when things feel a little bit tense that's going to throw on Celine Dion or whatever it may be. She's going to grab a brush and she's going to sing a tune pregame one day or in practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the balance because the Americans got it. They've got it. And Spooner really does bring this outside of her hockey play. I'm talking about off-ice stuff, which is equally as important. I think Spooner brings that.
Yes. A couple players we're really excited for that made this team. Katie Taven makes it on the blue line. So pumped for her. I don't know if anybody's pumped her tires harder than Erin Ambrose for the last couple of seasons. I don't know if she's been advocating for her to be a Team Canada member, but honestly, Katie Taven really is. We know that Erin Ambrose, Nicole Gosling, big pieces of that Montreal blue line, but I think Taven has been underrated in how hard she is to play against. And I think Troy Ryan and Gina were saying that a ton after they named her to the team. And such a cool story. Like she walked away from hockey twice. She didn't probably think that she'd still be playing at this point. She went to the PHF. I think there were some visa issues when she was playing for an American team. So she had to wrap it up there. And then she came back and played for the Toronto Six and won there. And now she's headed to her Olympics. Daryl Watts too, after thinking that she wasn't going to play hockey anymore, she went back, played in the PHF, and now she's headed to her first Olympics as well. So
and I think that speaks volumes to any player around the world playing, right? Like now with this league, there's no quit because you need a hot season at the right time or clicking at the right time or just keep working because you can climb right back to the top. It's not like how it used to be.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be over. Even the players that didn't make this team, like it ain't over. Welcome back. You're in the PWHL. You're still a professional hockey player. Hannah Miller, one of those players. I was sad to hear that she didn't make Team Canada for her sake. Apparently wasn't an eligibility issue and just came down to just not cracking this Canada roster. So thinking of her, but pretty cool that not making an Olympic roster isn't the end of the road for anybody anymore. There's a lot of hockey left to play for all these players.
You will get another kick at the can.
You will, as long as you don't kick the cat, because then you're banned from Jocks and Jills. No cat kicking on this show.
Sweden and Italy will be announcing their rosters. We're recording this Monday morning, but Sweden and Italy will be announcing their rosters as well. Sweden, I was talking to Bucky's about them because Hilda Svensson, who's a Buckeye, a hell of a player. She's such a stud. I expect her to be on that roster. There's no way she's not making that roster. They are going to be very young and very fiery. Excited for Sweden. Italy, being the host nation, gets a team. You and I both assume. Did you put your name in the hat, Julia, for that team being in?
I didn't. I was hoping to attempt to be the goalie, like you've been inspiring me to, but I didn't have time to train. Didn't have time to get myself a set. Yeah. I think there is going to be a lot of Italian. There's going to be a lot of familiar names, I think, for women's hockey fans on that Italian team, with quite a few, I think, Italian Canadians expected to be named with their dual citizenship. And
Laura Fortino being one of them.
Yeah. So we'll let you know on those Sweden and Italy rosters when they come as we approach puck drop in Milan. Tessa, we're getting so excited for that. We have a lot of great stuff coming in terms of coverage on Jocks and Jills that we're excited to let you know about as we get a little bit closer. So pumped about that. Pumped for all the players headed to the Olympics. And we'll keep her going with some PWHL action here, where the Ottawa Charge, Tessa, have won 6 straight games. Another amazing night in Halifax. 2 back-to-back sold-out takeover tour games in Halifax. Like, wow. The East Coast showed up and showed out. And the Ottawa Charge is on an absolute heater right now.
They're charging. Speaking of pumped, their fans are pumped. Rightfully so. They're playing the right way. They're creating offense off the rush. Jenner's rolling. She's got goals in 3 straight games. I'm going to say, Julia, 18
You're gonna
and 1.
say it? What if they
18
lose
and
their
1 when
next
Jenner
game now that
scores,
we
and
said it
Jenner's
on the
cooking and
pod?
she's leading the way. But so is that line, and so is the whole team. They're just playing the right way. The crazy thing is Ottawa has brought Boston and the last 2 times they played them to a shootout, and Ottawa has won both.
Yeah.
So Canada, if this comes down to do they even do shootouts anymore? I'm talking out of my butt here, but like
not in the gold medal game. I think they might still do it at the in everything but the gold medal game because of,
so Jenner's 3 for 4 in her last 4 shootout attempts against Frankel.
and they're all insanely disgusting. Like none of her goals look. I don't even know. They all need to be on a highlight reel for Jenner in the shootout. Like she's just on another level right now.
Props to you, Ottawa. And hey, Halifax, pardon us. I always knew you wanted a team, but like, holy shnikes. Selling out combined 20,000, almost 21,000 people, just under 21,000 people going to those games. And it's raucous in there because the East Coast, that's how they do things. Both of them also went to a shootout, which is hilarious. So fans, if you paid money for your ticket, you got everything you paid for. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I saw you put in our notes here, Julia, that Rachel Reed was in attendance for both
games. So many great celebrity attendees, from Olympians to authors, and Rachel Reed. Anne Murray read the starting lineup
Spooner's
for Ottawa.
Mom.
I forgot about that story.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to Spooner's episode, because Spooner is the funniest person I know. And her mom's name is Anne Marie, but Spooner's father is English, I believe. Is he English? So she's got like a little bit of an accent on certain words that she say. And she kept saying her mom was Anne Murray when I first met her. And my socks were completely blown off because I'm an Anne Murray fan. And I was like, you're the coolest. She better make this team because I need to meet her mom. She could sing the national anthem for us at all of our
games. It'll be awesome.
I just want to hold her hand.
Cool. Yeah, just an absolute East Coast legend out there. Read the starting lineup for the Ottawa Charge. And Carla had worn a Reba t-shirt under her coat for the previous game. In this game, she was rocking an Anne Murray shirt. Like she's going to need a country icon diva t-shirt for every game for the remainder of the season.
First of all, there is no bigger Reba fan out there than Carla McLeod.
That's so on brand.
None. Trust me. When I first became pals with Carla, she was like, do you like Reba? I'm like, don't know what you're talking about. Like, I have no clue. And it was like, she's got a guitar signed by Reba. She's met Reba plenty. She went to Vegas to watch Reba perform there. Met her there too. Like, I'm pretty sure her and Reba are just like best pals. I can't confirm, but like,
that's
no
awesome.
fan out there is a bigger Reba fan than Carla McLeod.
I love that. And she's an Anne Murray fan too, I think, right?
Who isn't?
Yeah, you're right. Every Canadian has to be.
Yeah.
So what a day in Halifax. And the takeover tour continued in Quebec City. I was honestly sad. I was sad we couldn't get to the East Coast, Tessa. Just the timing didn't work out, guys. We apologize. We love the East Coast. And we had so much fun in Quebec City last year too. That city's amazing. I stayed, like, it's burned in my brain. I stayed in this adorable little hotel in the old part, and I could see the skating rink from the window in my hotel room. I ordered a poutine and a hot dog like I normally do whenever I'm in Quebec, into my room, and I just had the best night ever. And another win for the Montreal Victoire in Quebec. Another great appearance by Marie-Philippe Poulin's Mamel. Is it her Mamel? I'm just like making that up and deciding it's her grandmother. It was adorable.
She saw her up on the screen and blew her a kiss. Like, stop with making me cry, everyone.
A cute moment. And it's so cool that they have a full Quebecois line too, with Jay Landry, LaBelle, Kath Dubois. Like, so cool to have that lineup and that representation.
Yeah.
Great showing again, over 14,000 people in Quebec, and they got treated to an awesome game.
Battle of the tendies, the two Canadian tendies going toe to toe. And in watching this game, I was like, no one's scoring. There's no way. Like, this is crazy. I knew it was going to have to be this wild, crazy bounce. It was going to have to be something. And Nicole Gosling was the benefit of that. And you could even see, like, it was just like, Mash was like, man, that's the only way that was going in. And the fact that Pooh got an assist on that when she was trying to rim it around the other way, but it bounced back to Gosling on the boards, I had a good laugh. But this game, both of them, congrats. ARD gets her second shutout of the season. She now leads the PW in goals against average. She passed Frankel with that, 1.25 goals against average. Shut up. That's crazy. Gross. Barf in my mouth. Mashmeyer made 25 of 26 saves, all of which were very glorious and very Mashmeyer-like. Like, these two goalies could not be cooking at a better time. Like they're both looking great. Gosling gets her first goal of the season. Props to you, albeit it's probably not the way she drew that one up or dreamed of it, but who cares? Floodgates are open. Pooh with that strange assist, riding a 6-game point streak. She also couldn't lose a draw. She was 81% in the dot.
Was she really? I didn't even look at that. Oh my gosh, Pooh. Especially
Right?
against that team.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a great game. Props to both teams for putting on a hell of a showing. Big moment in this game, Abbey Rock.
Who was mic'd up, by the way. I would like the audio from the moment.
Please release it. All of it. Unedited.
That'd be so bad.
I want it all. She got a match penalty. It was originally deemed a 5-minute major game misconduct, but she ended up getting a match. So this will be reviewed by the league. My comments on this hit were, it doesn't matter what league you're playing in, NHL, PW, this is a penalty, first of all. Barine was kind of in a vulnerable spot considering she was coming from behind her blind side. In my head, I'm like, she was probably trying. At first, I was like, oh, she was just trying to gain the space because you saw her like to me, it looked like a butt check, but it wasn't as they slowed it down.
Yeah.
And Rock had eyes the whole time on it. So the main contact was to the head before there was even a play on the puck. The league has zero tolerance for hits to the head, and I appreciate that because I'm not a fan of the concussion game. I've had a few myself, and I want to see all these players play for a very long time. So yeah, the league will look at it and decide if there's supplementary, a suspension happening or a fine or whatnot. But we'll have to wait to see what comes out about that. Sophie Jakes, by the way, I don't know if in her past 2 games, I don't know if the Olympic roster had anything to do with any of this or what. I don't know when they found out when they made the team, but the shot first mentality, you know that I love that from a defender, like, and not just throwing it on net, like shooting to score. She had, what did she have? 7 shots on net on Sunday and 6 shots on net as a defender on Friday.
Pardon
Keep
me.
that rolling right into Milan, Sophie Jakes. Like things are going to go well for you. Tell you that much. And the kid's she's got a great shot too. So
I honestly think that the Olympic announcements have sparred a few people. Like that's her Daphne goal. She was left off Team Canada on Friday, obviously.
Yeah.
And then she gets that sick goal on Sunday. Jenner, and just obviously making Team Canada the way that she's been rolling. I really do feel like these
keep that foot on the gas pedal, everybody.
I feel like it's inspired people to get her going. Where are we at with the Golden Eyes right now, Tessa?
Dude, they ain't great. They have the lowest winning percentage on the road. They don't like being on the road, and albeit they're on the road a lot, and there's a lot of travel for them because they're way out on the West Coast. But they've got a .143 win percentage on the road. Eesh.
Yeah, gotta start winning on the road a little bit. They love playing at Pacific Coliseum, and I know the travel's hard. I know but
that's what being a pro is.
It is what it is, and hopefully they'll figure it out here soon. We didn't mention Sarah Nurse, obviously also named to Team Canada, so there must be some optimism there in terms of, well, there is. Gina said straight up she's confident in her ability to ramp up before Milan, so.
She's been skating, so.
Hopefully we'll see her soon. Okay, we know we have a whole show about U18 and prospect stuff. Make sure you're listening to Jocks Next Gen with Flo and Buckles every Wednesday, but we had to talk about this Abbey Murphy move. Tessa, I screamed. What even is this? Who has the confidence to do this at full speed? To bop it in the air to yourself and then put it through the defender's legs? I don't understand.
Full speed ripping down on her offside. So that means her hands are to the middle. Right. Okay. She flips it up in the air, taps it back down through the defender's legs, and then one hand backhand taps it to her teammate going to the net who's got a wide open net. Craziest thing, Julia, that wasn't even her only highlight in that game. She scored a sweet goal where she Tammy toe dragged into the middle, tapped it through the defender's legs, wheeled around her and put it in. And it was like, can you hurry up and get in the P-dub? Like that's where I was at. I was like, enough of this. This is unfair for us.
I can't wait to see her in Milan. She's leading the NCAA right now with 28 goals, 22 assists, 50 points in 22 games played. Abbey Murphy, you are a sick puppy, and we cannot wait to see you in the P-dub next season. Yeah. And Vancouver, I don't know. Like, I don't know what, it's too early, obviously, for anybody to try tanking, but whoever whoever gets her next season is getting a franchise changer. And I think there's a few franchise changers, or not franchises, they're individual teams. But there's league changers coming into the league next year, and not just one of them.
March and April are going to be wild for the standings. Just wait. It's going to be insane. Like, this is nice. This is like a little warm up. Let's just put the teams where they are. 11 points from top to bottom. That may seem like a lot, but it ain't.
No, especially in a 3 points for a regulation win type league. Like, it is not very much at all.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait. Buckle up, everybody.
Buckle up. And again, listen to Buckles every Wednesday. Jocks Next Gen. U18s have also kicked off. Buckles and Flo will be talking about that. Nella Lapusanova is a name that you probably already know since she got her first Michigan goal at the U18s a couple of years ago. It is now is this her fourth? Yeah, it's her fourth U18s that she's beginning.
16, 17. Is it? Yeah, she was there when she was 14.
Yeah, so I think this is her fourth and final U18s tournament. She's already absolutely ripping it up. She's 3 points away from tying the tournament's all-time scoring record. It's Kendall Coyne-Schofield that holds the scoring record. She has 33 points all-time at the tournament. Nella currently has 30. So just getting your name alongside that kind of company is just wild. And
she's going to be the next Abbey Murphy for us. We're like, man, hurry up.
She's not even in college yet. We're going to be begging for Nella for some time. And we have to have Nella on. Like, she's such an incredible character. I was just reading Haley Salvian did a great story about her before in The Athletic before this tournament, and kind of detailed her insane rise to stardom, how the world kind of knew her name after she did that Michigan goal. Her following U18s wasn't quite as good. The pressure was hard. And now she's really settled into her own, obviously ripping it up. She had a 4-goal game against Finland.
That's crazy.
Slovakian hockey is just going to see an uptick because of this kid. And it's really awesome. And just USA's got, who is that stud?
Okay, Courtney, our good pal, Courtney Kennedy, coaching the US under-18 team there. I can hear her just laughing to herself. So get to know this name, everyone. Jane Daly, okay? This kid is a stud. She's at Shattuck St. Mary's. I actually reached out to Brianna Decker and talked to her about her. I was like, is this kid the real deal, or is she just the best U18 player out there? And she was like, this kid is setting the precedent for the next generation of how to play, basically. She's setting the bar. This is what you have to keep up with. I am her kind of thing. You know what I mean? Back-to-back hat tricks. She is 16. Back-to-back hatties. She's a stud. She's American. And you know, when she comes to the bench, Courtney's going to be like, I'm not telling you anything. You tell me. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. Team so far, just so everybody knows, some have played 1 game, some have only played 2. Tournaments just getting going. Not too late to tune in. The next US game is on Tuesday, I believe. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, like I said, we're recording this Monday morning, so maybe Nella's hit the record by now, and she's already the all-time leader in points. Who knows? Like, these kids are absolutely wild. This game is, you were talking about it off the top, Tess, just the effect that the PWHL is having at the grassroots. Like, we're seeing the effect of the rise of women's hockey over the last couple of years on how good the youth is right now. And the fact that, like, your daughter Annie is probably going to be able to do a Michigan goal when she's like 5 years old because the way the world is.
Like, I give her 2 years, she'll be better than me. It's crazy. One of the craziest things too on the Canadian side, this is like, I was talking to Kenzie, she's like, little spooky tidbit for you. Canada's got a goalie with the last name St. Pierre. And number 22, one of their players, their captain, her first name is Haley.
Oh, that's weird.
I know.
That's really weird.
Strange. But Kaylee Tiller on Canada has been fantastic. Another name to watch if you're a Canadian hockey fan or just hockey fan in general. These are the next gen, if you will, of stars and studs coming up. And they're likely going to be on Jocks Next Gen very soon.
Yeah. And shout out to the Etobicoke Dolphins. I saw 4 of 5 of Canada's power play members play for the Dolphins. So I don't know what they're
Sherry Piper's husband, Joe, is coaching. So you know that they're cracking the whip and making sure these ladies know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I love minor hockey wagons, like just those teams that everyone shakes their head at and like everybody who's not on that team kind of hates. Like, you just know that's the Dolphins.
Yeah. Has to be because they're too good.
Yeah. Okay. Before we keep going here, we want to tell you about Clever Mocktails, the official mocktail of the PWHL. They've got 0 alcohol and all the fun. They're made from natural, high-quality ingredients, and there's 6 flavors to choose from margarita to gin and tonic and mojito. They feature They are non-alcoholic cocktails, rather, ready to drink. They're crafted with botanical infusions for that wow factor flavor. They feature a refined, refreshing option for any moment. They're low calorie and no sugar options available. They're gluten-free. You get no hangover, and they're available at your favorite grocery store across Canada, or you can order them online at clevermocktails.com. Tessa, we are sticking hard to the clever mocktails for January. I'm not doing fully dry January again like I did last year. You hated that.
Yeah. I didn't like that for you.
No, I had a couple glasses of wine. I was thinking about doing dry January, and then I had some family over yesterday, and I had a couple glasses of wine. But I made it 12 days without really even thinking about it. I've
That's really good.
been having my clever mocktails and my sober carpenters, and sitting
everything
on the
in
couch.
moderation. That's all that matters.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
That's what you got to stick to. Okay, we'll keep it rocking here. Let's get to our interview for the day, which is brought to you by AERO, the official chocolate bar of the PWHL, on or off the ice. Feel the bubbles melt. I can't talk about moderation and then talk about arrows because
I know. I was just going to say that. We lie. We're lying.
I crushed them. They're all gone. I don't have any more left. Speaking of absolute studs who play for the USA, here is one. She's great for the Seattle Torrent. She's a great personality. She was awesome for the Montreal Victoire. God, and I loved her story that she told us about when her Olympic dream began. It's just so inspiring.
When I looked up her stats and stuff, I was just like, is there anyone else that has won 3 under 18 golds? Not just medals, golds. There's only a handful out there.
Yeah.
And she's one of them. Just a stud from the get-go. And the fact that she's that good and has been such a mainstay on the US and came from California.
So cool. Yeah. She's got a great story. She's got a great dog, great family, just a great all-around person and player. Here she is on the jocksinjills podcast. It's Cayla Barnes. Okay, she's ripped it up everywhere that she's played, from Montreal to Ohio to Boston to the international stage with USA, and now she is starring for the Seattle Torrent. We're so excited to have her on jocksinjills. It's Cayla Barnes. Thanks for doing this.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
No problem. We were talking about it. I think we got to start with the headline news of the moment. We talked about it a bit off camera before we began, but congratulations. You've recently been named to the U.S. Olympic team. I guess we could say again, but does it ever get old just seeing your name on that roster? And is there a lot of stress before you officially do actually see your name on the roster?
I mean, yeah, there's always stress. You never really know until you know. And that call never gets old. So this is my 3rd time now, which is crazy, but still feels like the first. And, just super excited to be able to go over there and super honored to represent the United States again at the biggest stage.
Where were you when you got the call? What were you doing?
Well, we were on a road trip. So we were in the hotel. I was just in a hotel conference room taking the call. We actually were in the hotel with Minnesota as well. So there was a bunch of us kind of circulating, waiting for these calls. So it was kind of an interesting dynamic to the morning of that day. But just in the hotel on our road trip.
Typical. Makes sense. Your road trip's been forever.
Yeah, 17 days. That's the longest one I've ever been on.
I know. It's your 3rd Olympics, so you get it. You've been there, you've done that, and you're still excited, which is awesome. So what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to my family being able to come. My dad has never seen me play in the Olympics. And, my brothers have never seen me play in the Olympics. The only person that's seen me play is my mom. Just because last Olympics was COVID. And then my first Olympics, I made it really late. So just couldn't swing it to get over there and whatnot. So I'm just excited for my family to be there. My biggest support system. I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So excited for them to be able to experience that. And then for myself to be able to have them there in the stands and know they're there. So that's, I think, what is most exciting for me.
Oh, that's awesome. You made the team late the first time. Can you kind of compare getting the call the first time to getting it most recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my first Olympics, I was really young. I was right out of high school. So I went and tried out for the team and I didn't make it. So I didn't make it at the initial camp because I'd never had a national team minute. That was my first big camp that I'd been to, which fair. I didn't expect to make the team. And so I just went and started my freshman year. And I played 5 games at BC. And then I got a call in like mid-October from Reagan Carey. I was like, hey, how would you like to come down to residency and like join the team? And I was like in tears. I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't know. So basically dropped out of school, packed up my dorm room, my freshman dorm room at BC, and moved down to Florida in 3 days. And that was that. So it was kind of like a crazy whirlwind. My first time around, not expecting it at all. Like no communication from that first camp to when I got that second call. And then all of a sudden, like I was there, and then all of a sudden we were going to the Olympics, and it was crazy.
Which is certifiably insane because you had only played for the under 18 team, albeit 3 times before that. And then next thing you know, you're an Olympian. Like there was no worlds. It was just like, hello, everyone. Here I am, Cayla Barnes. So what was it like inserting yourself in like such a star-studded group?
Yeah, I mean, I was terrified. I'm not going to lie. I was terrified. I didn't know anyone. And like, we had some big dogs on that team. Like we had, Megan Duggan, Hillary, who's obviously one of my really good friends now, but like Hillary, Kendall,
the Lamoureux twins,
the Lamoureux twins, like just this lineup that was like my idols growing up. I've been watching them for years. And now all of a sudden, like I'm sitting next to Casey Bellamy in the locker room and she's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hi. How are you?
A lot, actually. A lot is up.
A lot is up. And, like I get there the first night and Hillary comes knocking on my door with her dog and she's like, hi, like, welcome. And I'm like, oh my God, Hillary Knight is standing at my door. Like, I'm like 18 years old. Like, I have no idea I don't even know how I'm getting to the rink. I barely have my driver's license. Like, I don't know what's going on. I have no food. Like, I called my mom. I'm like, I'm hungry. I don't know what I'm doing. But no, it was great. They were amazing. They really took me under their wing and were really, supportive. And they're, I was obviously really nervous and they were just like, you're here for a reason. So do what you do. And it ended up being, one of the best experiences ever and made a lot of really good friends out of it. And, those teammates are some I still talk to today. So it was great.
Yeah, I'd say come out of it with a gold medal too as a cherry on top of the experience. Like we talk about that shootout a lot on this show just because it was such an impactful moment.
Insane.
Can you walk us through it from your point of view? Like, could you even watch at that point?
Oh, no, me and Casey were holding hands staring at the ground. Like every time someone shot, we were like, our heads were down. We were like, oh my God. And we would just wait for the reaction and be like, okay. Like we scored or like Maddie saved it or whatever. Like every time we couldn't even, because at that point, like our game was over. Like we weren't going. So it's just like putting our faith in the rest of the gals.
But please tell me you saw Lamoureux's ridiculous move to win it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Phew.
Insane.
Yeah.
And I think I've watched it a million times since then.
Right.
It's been 8 years now, but it's like iconic.
Yeah. It was the move. It should be dubbed the move.
Yeah.
In the US. It was so
crazy.
So how does a kid end up being a 3-time Olympian hailing from Eastvale, California? Like I guess there is hockey down there. Obviously there's the LA Kings. You're closest to Anaheim, right? Than LA?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got the San Jose Sharks. So there was hockey there, but how did your hockey career begin?
Yeah, I have 4 older brothers, so they all played, and roller hockey is really big in California. So I kind of started there, and then all of them transitioned over to ice when like the Kings were starting to kind of expand their youth programs. So they started having a lot of teams. So my brothers started to play and I just wanted to do what they did. I didn't really care what it was. I just wanted to play sports and be outside and, go to the rink with them. And I lived at the rink, especially being the youngest of 5. Like I just got packed in the car and was like, you're coming. So, so I just wanted to do what they did. And then, I really loved it. Like my parents, it's so funny. They talk about my first couple years. They're like, I swear to God, you didn't touch the puck for the first 2 years of you playing. Like not one singular time. 2
just
years.
For a skate.
Yeah, but like I loved it. And like I just loved being on the ice and like that joy. We were like, we're just gonna keep her in it because she loves it. Like whatever. And then I kind of started to get really, like, I started to get serious about it. I went on travel teams. I played boys. There wasn't a lot of girls teams where I'm from. So played boys. And then the Olympics came around in 2010 and I was 11 and I was 11 and I like that was the first time really that I saw, like women's hockey. And I turned to my mom and I go, I'm going to go to the Olympics. My mom was like, okay,
Damn right you are.
sure thing. I said, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the Olympics. And she was like, okay, you can do anything you set your mind to. Like, obviously I was 11. So she was like, whatever. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And so then from then on, I just like set my mind to it. And I was like, I'm going to go to the Olympics. And then crazy, 7 years later, it's not the Olympics. But that's kind of how I got into it. And I remember vividly watching, the 2010 Olympics and that being kind of a turning point for me.
Cool. So
Yeah.
you're playing in California, hockey, roller and ice.
Mm-hmm.
How did you even get recruited or seen or spotted to be, to go try out for the under 18 team? Like, how did this even happen?
They have like the regional camps for national camp. So I just tried out in my region. So you state camp and then you go to district camp and then kind of go from there. So kind of just played my way into national camp and then got invited to that August festival and ended up making the team.
Super
my
young.
first year. It's super young. Yeah, my first
Wow.
year. And that's kind of how the process went. Like I also ended up after that moving out east and I went to prep school. And then that's kind of how I got recruited for college. And because I just couldn't stay in California at the time, there just like wasn't a place for me to play where I was going to develop and get seen by colleges. So, but that's how I got to my first U18 team was just I started in the state camp and the district camp and just went through all the
ladder.
levels.
Yeah. Wait, can you just tell us some of the names of your minor hockey teams? Were they Mighty Ducks? Were they Kings? I see the one you moved to the East Coast. I really like the name the Wizards. Can you walk me through some of the names? Because I feel like they're really good.
Yeah. Well, I played for the Lady Ducks.
Love that.
The Junior Ducks, the LA Junior Kings, the LA Selects.
Do you guys have silver helmets?
No.
Oh.
We were in for the Kings.
Yeah.
No, we were in the purple and gold. And purple
sick.
helmets.
Even
That's
better.
So nice.
Whoa. It was really cool. We thought we were so cool.
You were.
Sick. That's sick.
Yeah. And then, LA Selects. And then I played for the Brick team. I went to the Quebec tournament. So I played for the California teams there. And then, when I went out east, I played for the East Coast Wizards.
Love the Wizards. I actually need a visual on those jerseys. Like, did it have a little wizard on the front?
It did. It was a full-blown wizard, and they were black and gold.
Oh my god,
they're pretty cool.
You played for some cool Jersey team.
You kept all that.
Now?
Oh yeah, my parents have bins and bins of jerseys. So
that's sweet. Yeah. So you weren't talking to colleges at all before you went east. Just to be clear, like it's kind of impossible to do.
Yeah, no, not at all. I was too young too, but I wasn't. I don't even know if I was on radars or whatever, but not until I went out east.
And it would have been easy for them to find you after you made the under 18 team. I feel it's just like, here's Cayla Barnes on a platter.
Yeah. I feel like after that, it kind of opened up the door a bit. And like the college rules back then, they were a lot stricter now, but the communication rules were a bit sketchy back then, I must say. So, things were just, under the table, back door, so, communication kind of opened up after that first.
That sounds like a Coach Coat specialty.
Yeah.
Was it Courtney that recruited you to BU? Like we love her on the show. BC. We have her on all the time. Sorry, BC. Was it her? What was it about BC that lured you there? And was there other schools that were really in the mix?
Yeah, she was a big reason why I chose BC. Also, BC is it's an amazing school. Boston's awesome. A lot of great perks to BC, but I think My parents did a really good job of kind of helping me through the process. A lot of schools were reaching out, and I didn't even know what college was, to be completely honest. I was like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'm looking for. Like, and I think my parents did a really good job of kind of grounding me and helping me through that situation. So I looked everywhere. I looked at ECAC, I looked at WCHA, I looked at all hockey East schools. I probably went on 20 visits, just me and my parents, just because like I didn't know and my parents wanted me to be educated. And then I, did the whole like narrow it down situation and pros and cons and whatnot. And that's how I kind of came to my decision.
I know you inevitably ended up going to Ohio State, but was Ohio State one of the schools you had visited?
Actually, no, because
Oh,
Ohio State never reached out to me at the
what?
time. Yeah, like
Shame.
I didn't, but I think they were going through a coaching change. Like
Oh,
when I went into college, Muzzy was just getting there,
right.
or maybe it was kind of, I feel
Our
like maybe
first
a
year.
weird time.
Yeah,
So, yeah, they never reached out to me. So I never visited there.
that's okay. Well, you ended up
Yeah,
spending a lot of
it
time
all
there.
worked out in
Yeah,
the end.
it all
It
worked out
did.
in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked to Hannah Bilka a little bit about her decision to go to Ohio in her 5th year. Do you want to give some insight on your call
Yeah.
to do that?
Like, hold on, because we need some clarity. Did you guys actually not talk, or like, did you actually make your
No,
own
hand
decisions?
hand on heart, I swear we didn't talk about it because we didn't want it to be. It kind of became this like Barnes and Bilka thing, but like we didn't want it to be that.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, like we both decided we were going to the portal. We both knew that we wanted to do that. But then we were kind of like, okay, we're not going to talk about it because I want you to go where's best for you and me, what's best for me. And I know that if we talked about it, not saying that it would influence, but like you never know. Just we just wanted it to be separate. So we actually didn't talk. And I mean, I think we sent maybe a few texts like, how's it going? And we just be, short and sweet, it's going good, having calls, whatever. And then I finally came to a decision and I texted her and I said, I know where I'm going. And then she was like, she guessed and she's like, you're going to Ohio. And I was like, yeah. Um, and I was like, have you made your decision yet? And she hadn't at that point. But then, I mean, inevitably, like ultimately, she ended up deciding that. But I swear it was completely separate. We didn't talk about it. We just wanted it to be our own process and our own journey through the whole like recruiting process and whatnot. So,
Tessa likes that even more. She's like, haha, they didn't even have to conspire. They just
Yeah.
all want to go to Ohio State.
yeah, I mean, I figured we'd both probably end up in similar places because we wanted similar things,
Mm.
but you just never know.
But we love Coach Courtney on the show so much that like, can you just give us a little insight on like how awesome it is to have her A, as a coach, and B, just have her personality in and around the locker room and on the ice?
Yeah, she's great. I mean, she is one hilarious, like always can make you laugh, but also like such a good coach, a great competitor, knows when to lean on you, knows when to lighten up. I think like she helped me a lot at BC, kind of grow as a competitor, as a person, a player. She would go on the ice with me whenever I wanted. Um, you know, help me through like frustrating times when things were going really well. We'd had a lot of communication. So also a really cool side note story. Before the first Olympics, we got these like wooden boxes with our number on them, and everyone that wore your number wrote you a letter before, which was really cool. And Court wore number 3. So she like
No.
wrote a letter to me and it was like the coolest thing. Like it was just like really special moment. So I think like we have a really good relationship and to this day we still chat here and there and she helped me grow a lot in my time at BC. So I really loved having her as coach.
Is it true you guys took a graduate class together?
Oh, we did. Yes, that was
How's Courtney the student?
you
This is the
know,
craziest thing. Like I can't believe we just found this out recently. Like the fact that we didn't know
yeah.
this until the past couple of days is wild.
Yeah, she doesn't like to do homework. That's like not a thing for her. She'll participate so much in class. such a good participator because she can like talk to a wall. But she was like, I'm not doing homework. And so then like the teacher was like, well, like you have to. And she was like, I'm not doing it. And she was like, I don't even care if I fail. It was so funny. And we'd be in like group discussions and like we had just come from like practice like 2 hours earlier. We'd be like, hey.
Hey, coach.
Did you help her out with
Hey,
the
coach.
homework at least?
Yeah, you let her copy?
No, like it wasn't even like copy like homework. Like you couldn't even like try to even copy.
It was
like
your
it was kind of
thoughts.
just one. Yeah, like it was your own personal thoughts. And she was
Sorry,
just
what
like,
was
I'm
the
not doing
class?
it. And it was like some leadership I'm not even sure, like leadership or coaching class,
Leadership
something.
class with your
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like it was a crazy time, but it was hilarious. We had a great time in there. Yeah.
That's truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've gotten to play for some legendary coaches. So you go to Ohio State then in your 5th year and you get to play for Muzzerall. We always hear about the fitness testing at Ohio State. Like what were your first impressions when you walk in the door at Ohio and it's time to play there?
I mean, for lack of a better term, I got my ass kicked at Ohio. When I got there, I mean, it was real, and they do not play around, and they don't care. You know, everyone is doing the same things, but it was great, and I loved it. And I was like, I need this. This is what I need, and so it was hard, and Muzzy was really hard on us, but she also loves us so much, and you know that. So like, I would say like I would run through a wall for Muzzy. Like I would do anything for Muzzy, even to now. And she was my coach for 1 year. I would do anything for her. And I think that she does a really good job with, the culture and, playing for each other and, all these things. And it was just a really great year. We had a really great like collection of girls as well that was just willing to do whatever it took. And you could feel that. So, but the fitness testing, the skating, I've never skated that much in my entire life. It was like some days I was like, my legs are just going to fall off their body. Like I'm going to fall off my body. I don't even know. I can't feel them. That's probably a good thing. But, we have some funny stories. We laugh about it and, we're like, it's crazy, but it works. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. So
yeah, tough stuff like
yeah.
that brings you together. After you won the Natty Championship with Ohio State, which was awesome, by the way. Thank you for that. On behalf of all of us alumni. There was a moment where you and Muzz had like a really big, long hug, and I could see you guys kind of having a little sidebar conversation. Do you mind sharing what was said in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I was crying. I was in tears. Like I was just saying thank you. Like thank you for giving me the opportunity and thank you for like opening your team up to me and believing in me. And I think that my 4 years at BC were, although I really enjoyed them, were not what hockey was and success was what I wanted. And this is what I really wanted. I wanted to win a national championship and I wanted to be on a team that pushed me every day and a group of girls that wanted the same things that I wanted. And I was just like, thank you for bringing me into this family and like giving me such a special place that like I will forever be grateful for. It was one of my favorite years of hockey and like something I'll never forget. So it was just seriously like saying thank you. And like, it was just like an emotional moment because it like, what a better way to end the year. That's what we came for and that's what we did. And like, it was a special moment with her. So
no doubt.
yeah.
It makes my heart full. You were out with USA Hockey and doing some ball hockey thing with school age kids. And I remember there was a moment where you're like, yeah, guess where I went to school? I'm an Ohio State Buckeye. And I was like, man, that like means a lot to me in the school. And it speaks volumes to Muzz because technically you only spent 1 year there and 4 in BC. And that's not a knock on BC, but I think that's just giving flowers to what Ohio State was able to provide for you guys. And I know a lot of people talk about the campus and how it's so big and whatever, but what were your first initial reactions to arriving on campus on what people would consider a massive school?
It was big, but like once you figure it out, it's not that big.
No,
like
at
it's
all.
like you kind of you just gotta find your way and it can seem intimidating, but like obviously had a lot of girls that, you just showed you around and then once you find your way, you're fine. So, and I must admit, I was in grad school and I wasn't going to school like that often, but
Yeah.
You
but
took the Courtney Kennedy route.
I was doing my classes. I did get good grades. Not saying that, but yeah, it was good. Like, I mean, I don't think it's that big. I loved it. So it was, I don't think it's as big and scary as people think it is.
Awesome.
Oh, and you get to
Yeah.
come right out of school, walk onto the stage at the PWHL draft. We were so happy to see you that day. Can you walk us through those feelings of getting to graduate and go right into a professional draft? Like, I know in the last year you got to watch the PWHL, but probably a surreal feeling that most of your career, like you're probably thinking, what am I going to do after this? Probably pretty special to know what you got to do after leaving Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, early on, I mean, I got lucky. I got to do like the 8-year college plan. So I was just
I love
delaying,
that for you.
delaying, and then the league started. So, and I was like, oh, I still have another year of eligibility. I'll just keep it going. But no, I mean, to see the league unfold in year one um, was amazing. Like, we've never had anything like that before. And now we had something to look forward to and hockey after college, which was not a thing before. So I was just so excited to get into the league. I think by the time I was done at Ohio State, I was really ready and like eager to get to the PW and start my professional career. So I just was, super proud of the girls, that came before me and all they did to create this league for those that came after. Cause now I think it's a ball that just keeps getting bigger and it keeps moving forward. And it's just so fun to be a part of.
That draft day, did you have any idea as to where you thought or
No,
knew? Like, did you know you had no idea? You just knew you were
no
going to be
idea.
like top 3 or 4. Like you were up
I
there.
mean,
I thought
I,
Boston was going to take you.
I had no idea. I thought Boston might, but also like Bilka was on the board, and I was like, I know they need a forward, and how do you
Right.
pass on Bilka? I mean, she's awesome. So it was just like I had no idea. And Montreal ended up taking me, and I I didn't have a conversation with them before they just drafted me. So I had literally no idea that was coming. So that kind of it was just a whirlwind of emotions, like going in and you just have no idea. You're like, I'm going to end up in one of 6 spots and that's that. So it was crazy. Kind of just like the nerves, like my heart was beating out of my chest every time something like someone was picked. And I was like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So yeah.
Yeah. We were talking to Jesse Comfer about being an American and getting drafted to Toronto and seeing all the Canadian national team girls on the stage calling her name. Probably would have been a similar experience for you. You'd never played alongside those players, only against them.
Yeah. I've never played alongside as many Canadians as on Montreal. Um, but they welcomed me with open arms. They were there. They bought me a drink after it was, it was, we were like, cheers, here we go. But no, it was great. And I loved Montreal. I had a really great year there and I loved the girls and I loved the team. It was a great spot. And I think it was really nice to be able to play alongside the Canadians instead of, I always say they're always, our natural born enemies and we're fighting to the death. You know what I mean? Like it's always
Yeah.
this big thing, but it was really nice to just like get to know them on like a personal level and also be able to compete alongside them as well. And it was just a different perspective and it was really fun. So I really enjoyed it.
One of my favorite moments from that draft was, you could tell you're a little bit nervous about going to the Montreal team or like uncertain, like what's going to be there for me? How am I going to fit? And then you saw that Jen Gardner got picked, another teammate of yours from the Ohio State University. And the first thing you guys said to each other was, we can be roommates.
Yeah.
How
I
much,
mean,
how much did
I
guards help in
think,
that transition?
yeah, I think like that was a big kind of weight lifted, a weight that I didn't even know that I had. Cause I think it was such a whirlwind of emotions. And I was like, okay, I know not a singular person in Montreal. I don't, not even like an old teammate or anything, like no one. And so then when I heard she got drafted, obviously super excited for her because she's awesome and she deserved it. But just to have a familiar face and that comfort, kind of, a friend just going into a new experience together, was really nice to have. And it was a big weight lifted.
You guys had a ton of fun together, didn't you? You roomed together, Avi. Heard you have like
Yeah.
family dinner parties and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Family dinner. A bunch of the girls, we get together and everyone just brings food and we just eat and hang out. It was one of my favorite things we did in Montreal.
Heard you had like an assembly line. If it was like a pre-game, if it was the eve of a game, you guys, it was chicken parm on the menu every time and there was an assembly line. Everyone knew their roles.
Yeah, I like flipped the chicken in
You were the flipper.
Yeah, like as it was getting yeah, it like goes in the oil for like a minute and then like I don't know. We have
It's an
like
important job. You got to have that perfect golden brown.
Crisp. Yep.
Yeah, Cayla Grant Mentis is like our head chef. She's in charge.
Okay.
She tells everyone what to do and then like Jen would clean, I would flip the chicken, other people would do other things. It was really funny, but it was fun and we enjoyed ourselves. So
That's the best.
Are you guys still
Yeah.
cooking? You and Bucky out in Seattle? Do you still get the chicken parms going?
Yeah, we do. We
Nice.
haven't as much. I haven't as much, I would say, as we did in Montreal, but we were just in Toronto on a stop on our road trip. And the Montreal girls that are on Toronto now, we had a family dinner
Did you?
in Toronto. So that was
Aw.
really fun. And it was good to see them and kind of do that again. So
Did everyone fall back into their roles like immediately? Like you're like, I got my flippers, I'm ready.
no, we just did a simple meal that time. We just
Okay.
did baked chicken and some veggies, and we couldn't do the whole.
It wasn't
the
in
whole
season.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gardner wasn't there to do the cleanup, so you guys weren't having it.
Exactly. We couldn't do it without her.
How's Hulk liking it out west, your dog?
Oh, he loves it. But okay. He actually doesn't really love the rain that
Right.
much.
Oh, okay.
But I force him out and I got him a rain jacket with ducks on it. It's really cute. And he's so big and he has this light blue rain jacket with ducks on it. So
I heard he's like
it's funny.
110 pounds. Like how big is your dog's like as big as you?
Yeah, he's really large. When he goes up on his back feet, he's like, we're like at eye level. Yeah.
You
I mean,
guys
I'm
should
not
slow
very
down.
big, but yeah, he has lost some pounds because the vet said he was a bit overweight. So he's probably about like 95 now.
Okay.
Probably, yeah, he's lost like 10, 12 pounds.
It's in the
Beach
double
bod
digits.
worthy. Yeah.
So he's skinny now.
Yeah, he's skinny. What kind of dog is he?
He's a chocolate lab.
Oh, he's just a big rig.
He's just big, yeah. And he's
Okay.
like lanky. He's not one of those like short labs. He's really long. His legs are long.
When did you get him? Like at the end of college?
I got him my senior year of BC.
No
So
way.
in the spring, I adopted him from a family that just couldn't take care of him anymore. And my mom was like, "You want him?" And I was like, "Why not?" I mean, I don't know if that was my best decision, but at the time, but I did it and he's awesome and everyone loves him. He's like the perfect chill guy. But I brought him to Ohio. I would bring him to the rink. He'd run around on the ice and everyone loved him. And now a lot of the girls watch him if I'm away or he comes to family dinners all the time. So it's fun.
That's so cute. Is he friends with
Yeah.
Jesse's dog? Is he friends with Bo?
Yes. Well, he's friendly.
They're both kind of big dogs. Eh?
Bo like really wants to play with him, but I think Hulk's a little weary. I don't know why.
It's
But,
fair. You gotta figure out who
but
your friends are.
they can exist in the same place.
I feel
Okay.
like Bo
nice.
is so young and like spry and spunky, where Hulk's probably like, would you just chill out?
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. Like Bo will kind of like play, like lunge at him, and Hulk's like, I don't know what's going on here, but like
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
He's
funny.
too civilized for a play like that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We've also heard, and maybe it's because you have a big dog and you have to keep up with his stride. Are you like a really fast speed walker?
Heard you're
for-
world class.
relative to your size?
Did you hear this from Jen Gardner?
Yeah.
Yeah. She actually just sent me a video of me speed walking the other day. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a hidden talent of mine, which is kind of crazy because I have such little
I
legs.
was going to say, but
But
it kind of tracks based on how fast you are on the ice.
Yeah.
I get the boots moving somehow. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, kind of a weird talent that I figured out last year. We kind of did some speed walking challenges and I won. So
Okay.
You
Maybe a
won?
different Olympic summer sport. We'll see you with the hips moving and speed walking
maybe.
in the summer in
Yeah.
LA. Yeah, it's your hometown
Oh
next
my
American
gosh.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Try
All right.
out.
Get training. Get training.
For speed walking?
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Wouldn't
need
that
it.
be something?
It would be
that
amazing.
crazy. Yeah.
I would go.
Yeah.
Cayla, this has been so much fun. We love watching you on the ice. Appreciate you taking the time today, and we can't wait to cheer you on with the USA and with Seattle.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And that interview was brought to you by AERO, the official chocolate bar of the PWHL. On or off the ice, feel the bubbles melt.
Gotta say, I love her parents. Met them once at an Ohio State alumni weekend, just quickly. And then ran into them at her draft when she was drafted. And they are the sweetest. They were standing so far back and they just wanted to see, Cayla walk down the purple carpet. And I was like, I am having none of this. This is when like boss mom Tessa came out. And I was just like, everyone move out of the way. And I like plowed my way through and I made sure they got to the front. And her mom was like so emotional. And I wanted to hug them so bad. Anyways, I hung out with them for longer than I probably should have. They were probably like, get this girl away from me. But they're just a great family and have done a fantastic job raising her and her brothers.
Oh, they sound like such great people. And again, that was such an awesome interview with Cayla when she was talking about when she said she was going to be on that Olympic team watching you in 2010, probably.
She was 11.
It's unreal. It's unreal. So thanks very much to Cayla for coming on with us. That was very cool. Okay, now it's time for you guys to come on with us. And remember, if you want to send a question to our Send It segment, you can send us a text or leave us a voicemail, 1-929-542-2442, or you can email us, jocksinjills@thepwhl.com. You can hit our DMs too. We're at jocksinjills across social media. We got a couple. The first one is from Aaron. Aaron says, okay, so it works. They talk to you rather, and they score twice. Yeah, Grace Sumwinkle happened again last week. Not to pump our own tires. Appreciate you doing it for us, Aaron, so I don't have to point it out on every show. It sounds lame of me. I had a strategy question also. I never played ice hockey, played soccer. My coaches preached no crossing the ball in front of your own net. And you hear that in Pee Wee hockey a lot too, Aaron. Like we weren't doing a lot of strategy, like the level of hockey I played, but I did hear don't pass the puck in front of your own net a lot. Like that was one I heard. We saw in the game on Sunday that the Frost did 3 times. At least one Seattle goal was totally across that they intercepted. 2 other chances. Just curious about if this is something that gets preached in hockey too.
It is. My rule with that is when you get to this level is you can't fluff it. If you're going to go across like that, it needs to be with authority and you got to put mustard on that thing. You have to be very sure when you're going to make a play like that, especially as a goalie. Like the last thing you want is someone coming right down the pipeline and getting a free one on you. But sometimes it works. I would much prefer take the ice, draw someone to you, dish it wide. But there are times in hockey when it just happens. If it's a controlled setting, I am okay with it. If there's a heavy forecheck on you and you feel like you got to throw it in front, last thing you want to do. So your soccer coach is not wrong, Aaron. It's just you either have to do it with authority so it blows up on someone's stick who's trying to intercept it, or just stay away from that at all costs because you don't want to be on a highlight reel on the wrong end.
Yeah, I think we've seen a couple of them this year, just D-to-D passes that have wound up turning into a chance. So
gotta pass hard.
It's good soccer analysis, Aaron, and it's applicable here too. This one is from Emma. I'm assuming she's a sad Golden Eyes fan to see her team at the bottom of the standings right now. She'd love to hear some coaching analysis on Idelski. From a Vancouver fan perspective, he's a little uninspiring. Doesn't seem like he's able to get what he needs out of this talented group of players. Understand you're a league podcast, but would appreciate any insight or thoughts from you on his coaching job so far. I love the podcast. Emma, don't you worry. We'll give it to you straight on this show.
So here's my thing. We've covered junior hockey. We've covered all types of hockey where we've had to interview players. What you see on TV is not what you get in real life. If that were the case, there'd be a lot of very boring hockey players out there that just are as dry as a saltine cracker. And they are not. There are a ton of characters in the game. it's hard when a microphone is in your face and the camera is on and you don't want to say anything bad. Cancel culture is out there. You don't want to be too, out there with your character because you don't want people to think that you don't take it seriously. I think the Adelsky you see on TV is not the man you get in the locker room. And you and I have had experiences with him where that is the case. We love this man.
Yeah,
if I played for him, the man shows up not wearing socks, just walks around the rink bare feet to get grounded.
Bare feet in the rink.
And if I played on his team, I would be dropping little packets of salt everywhere so his feet would get salt on them. Like I would just mess with this guy. And you know what? And he already messed with us when we were there. He is a jokester. He's a funny guy. He knows the game. He loves women's hockey. He has chosen to coach in it for many, many years. From our understanding, the players love him, Julia?
Yeah, like we've had Michelle Carvinen on. She's played everywhere for him. She was so happy to be back full circle with him in Vancouver.
Emma Gentry could not say enough about him.
Anyone who's come through St. Cloud can't say enough about Idelsky. Like he's a big reason why players would go there. He's, I think, a reason why a couple players went to Vancouver because of how much they like him. Like he's well loved. Emma, I promise you this. And honestly, maybe it's because we're seeing these like Chris Barr, like really crazy post-game speeches that he has thought out and the way Boston's rolling right now. So maybe Vancouver fans are looking at that and thinking, is Idelsky doing the same thing? Like, I don't know if he has exactly the same approach, but I know that the players love him. I know that they want to play for him. Yeah. I know that they feel really inspired to play for him. I just don't think it's all coming together the way they're hoping right now.
Yeah.
And injuries too. They haven't played with the full team since the first game.
Mm-hmm. All I have to say, Emma, is just don't believe everything you see on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Because he is dry. Like, I would say that his sense of humor is dry, but it is hilarious. The one-liners.
I would love just to have a couple beers with that guy.
I know. So yeah, Emma, that's our true and honest analysis on that. And hoping Vancouver is able to turn things around here. But like you said, 11 points separating the top and the bottom of the standings. It's not too far of a climb to get all the way back to the top. And we know lots is going to change here with the Olympics coming up and what's going to happen after that. So very exciting for all that's to come. And again, make sure you send us questions for our Dr. Jill segment that we do on Friday and our Send It segment that we do right now on Tuesdays. Send us an email, jocksinjills@thepwhl.com. Leave us a voicemail there at 1929-542-2442 or DM us or follow us across social media too, guys. Jocks and Jills, we're everywhere there. Looking forward to the games this week, Tessa. Anything you're particularly excited about? What do you got going on this week?
Well, a whole lot of activities with my children. However, it's always great when you can just unplug and disconnect and watch yourself some PW.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And I know your house is big on that. Ottawa, Montreal is what I'm excited about. I need to see these two teams play. Minnesota is playing on Friday. I know we still have a show after that, but I got that circled because Minnesota, the offensive prowess and the way Klee is so cool just to like move things around. The fact that, shuffle some lines, Petrie's out, whatever, and they respond that way. This team has been a problem the past 2 seasons and still is.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, the Scepters are playing, is it Boston? Yeah.
Yeah, in Boston.
Yep. I want to see Spooner. I want to see that weight off Spooner's back.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So those are the games that I've got circled that I'm looking forward to.
Pumped for the full slate of them this weekend. Pumped you all, hop on and listen to us twice a week. We appreciate you all. It's January. We're right in the thick of the things at the PWHL season, and we're coming in hot at the Olympics. So we're very excited you guys stick with us for that whole thing and tune into all the games with us. Again, follow us on social media at Jocks and Jills. Throw us a like on YouTube. We're on the PWHL's page. We drop every episode there. Spotify, Apple Music. It helps a lot if you could throw us a follow and a like there. And we will talk to you all on Friday.